Hey everyone, a nerd named Mark here, and it's Free Comic Book Day. It's Saturday, August 14th, which is Free Comic Book Day. And last year, obviously, with everything going on, didn't really do a Free Comic Book Day video. Also, obviously, I wasn't really doing YouTube at the time. So if you want to go back and hear about comic book stuff from this time, it's the only way you're gonna know like what was going on was my podcast, the Nerd Named Mark podcast. So go check that out. But that's not what this is about. So Free Comic Book Day is one of my favorite days of the year. Not just because there's free comic books, but mainly because there's a lot of good deals, and this is usually when a lot of comic book stores make a good amount of money in one day. Mainly because they'll run deals, bundles, this and that. So the free comics draw you in, but the events and everything else are what gets you to spend money, which happened to me because I got some comics, I got some collectibles. Went to a few other stores that weren't comic related, which I'll probably brush on really quickly. I was gonna do a separate video, but now I'm just gonna put it in here because it's gonna be really quick. So, before I get into the comics, the first thing I got there, and sadly, I opened it already. I already did this video before this one, so it made no sense. But I did get a full booster box for the Digimon card game for the fifth wave, which is the Battle of Omni. So this is empty because I actually just finished filming that, breaking that booster box before this. I don't know why I did that first, honestly. It just happened. And so, yeah. Also, new camera angle. Trying something new because I don't know. I think I like this angle a lot more from a lighting standpoint. I think I have to push my key light back a little bit more so you don't get the glare thing in the right corner over here. But I think this camera angle works. You can't see my collectibles as much on the shelves behind me, but for videos like this, it works. Now let's go on to the comics because there's a lot in here. Not boarded and bagged yet. I do believe we will start with the free comics I got. So my comic book store, to limit people coming in and just getting a whole bunch of comics, they were doing, basically one free comic per person. They were also running a deal where they had some indie trade paperbacks where if you spent like 25 or more, you would get one of those for free. But because I'm a subscriber, because I'm a VIP member, I got to pick two, and my significant other was with me, so they got to pick one. So I got three comics, and I actually let her pick. I was like, you pick whatever one you want. I got the two I wanted. Pick whatever you want. And she was like, no, no, no. She's like, and she looked at the ones, and like one of the ones I picked appealed to her, and the other ones didn't. So she picked, the Archie past, present, and future fun for me. I am a huge Archie fan. If you didn't know about me, and I don't feel like so a lot of people are shocked when I say I'm a huge Archie fan because they said like my personality or whatever like really doesn't seem like I would be because I'm into tokusatsu and horror and this and that, and yeah, Archie is one of my favorite continuous comics that I've actually been reading almost my whole entire life. I even have, I did a whole podcast episode where in 2019, I went back home, visit my family. We had to go to a wedding, and my mom like sprung it on me. She had a whole bunch of first prints, like first editions. She was the original owner. A whole bunch of '60s Archie comic stuff, and I did a whole episode basically on the betrayal of my own mother, not waiting until I was 35 to tell me this, because those could have been in my collection a lot sooner. And we did work out some deals, and I did get like I would say probably 3 years. Like, I think I got 61, 62, and 63, 1960, obviously. I got all the comics from those years in exchange, some Buffy the Vampire Slayer stuff and this and that. 'Cause my mom's a huge nerd and she loves Star Trek and Buffy and Angel and Firefly and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? It's a fair trade. Um, let's see. So my stuff was bagged backwards. So let's see. The next one I got because I'm a huge fan of this. I don't always like video game like tie-in comics and this and that, but I've been really enjoying the Life is Strange series. So I got the free comic day Life is Strange. This is also because one of my most hyped games for this year is True Colors. Right in the bottom, boom, plus True Colors. So I was like, ooh, that was like an instant no-brainer. And then the third comic I got, it's from the world of Something is Killing the Children. Enter the House of Slaughter. So if you haven't already, Something is Killing the Children is an amazing comic run. I have on a whim, so my comic book store will give me like, an issue one of something they think I like, and I've been a big supporter of Boom Studios. Like when they put out Power Rangers Zero and this and that, like I was like hooked. That I did a whole podcast where I talked about how Boom Studios with the Power Ranger comic book brought me back to comic collecting because I kind of fell out of it. I was reading digital here and there and getting trades like maybe twice, three times a year. But other than that, I wasn't even going to comic book shops. I wasn't buying comics. They got me back into it. So Boom Studios has always been a studio that like I will support them, and I'll check out anything. My local shop knows that. So they set aside if something's Killing the Children number one for me. I was like, all right, yeah, I'll check this out. Usually they know what I like, and because I've been, buying comics with them off and on since 2013, so they knew, and they were like, I was hooked on it, and now it got like, I guess it's being turned into a show and this and that, so obviously the value of Something is Killing Children has gone up, but I was really curious about the Enter the House of Slaughter, so I was like, definitely going to read that. If you haven't already, Volume 3 of the traded paperback is out. I just picked mine up like last week. So good, even though I've read the comics. But now I'm waiting for the trades because my comics are mint, boarded, and bagged, and they're going to go in the collection. So that's it for the free comics. So Enter the House of Slaughter, Life is Strange, and Archie, because I love Archie. I'm going to try and put these in order because I haven't picked up comics in like 2 weeks. It's been very hectic for me with work. I'm, promoted and been going through the ringer of getting all that stuff up and going. And so I'm going to start off with the Thor Annual. This is the Infinite Destinies. This is the Infinite Fury Part 5 of 8. I love this color. Very, very good. Thor has been ever since like right before like pre-War of the Realms, Thor has been so good. It's one of a few Marvel like runs right now that like I have to get constantly and I can't wait to read. And we're gonna keep it in the Marvel family. We have the 5th and final issue of the 5-part arc, The Trials of Ultraman. I love this cover so much. Like this is so good. Like, like Kyle Higgins has been just a machine with quality. Like when he started with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, what he's doing with Radiant Black, what's going on with freaking, Ultraman. Like, I'm just like, man, like, you can do no wrong, sir. Like, I appreciate you. And yeah. And I'm not just saying that because I want him as a guest on the podcast either. Like, I think phenomenal, right? Like, the care and everything into The Rise of Ultraman and now The Trials of Ultraman. Ooh, good issues. If you haven't already, the Rise of Ultraman trade paperback is now on sale at your local comic book shop or Amazon. Go to your local comic book shop first. Ask them if they can. If they don't have it, see if they can order it for you. Support your local shops first. If not, then you can go to like Amazon or Barnes and Noble, things like that. Let's stick with the Marvel family. And so I got 2 issues. So I think it's been more than 2 weeks. So I got the Miles Morales Spider-Man, the Clone Saga conclusion. Look at that. This is issue 28. When I tell you that, before I go into that, because this will tie into the next one, I also got the Clone Saga Fallout issue 29 of Miles Morales Spider-Man. I love that cover. When I tell you that I'm a late bloomer to Miles Morales, like, I guess not bandwagon. I was burnt out on Spider-Man when the Ultimate Universe, like, killed off Peter Parker, Miles Morales took over. I was already burnt out on Spider-Man. I begrudgingly, well, not really begrudgingly, but like, I finished off Amazing Spider-Man up to issue 700. I kept getting them. I even got some signed by Dan Slott, the late great Stan Lee. Quick little edit in there. Had some weird things going on. Yeah. So I even got, I think I got like 694, 695, and 699 signed by Dan Slott and Stanley. And then, so I wasn't really a big Miles fan, and then I just around issue 3 or 4 of Miles Morales Spider Man. I was just like, I saw the cover. It was like a team up type thing, and I was like, oh, I'm curious about this. And you know, I checked out issue 4. Looked. I read 1 through 3 online, and I ended up calling up my comic book shop, and I was like, hey, add Miles Morales Spider Man to my list. Also, if you can get me issues 1, 2, and 3, I greatly appreciate that because they have 3 or 4 locations. They're not like a franchise. It's just they own 4 different locations. San Diego is a huge area of Southern California, so they found those for me. Ever since then, I've been hooked on Miles Morales Spider-Man. The Clone Saga, I have not been reading because I knew it wasn't going to be like a drastically long arc, and I wanted to wait until I got the final issues of it. So I'm going to sit down, read it. Probably going to do a video about it because I want to do more comic book videos. Next up, so that's it for Marvel. Next up, we got some IDW. I am quite the kaiju fan. We know Tokusatsu, this and that. And Godzilla, Monsters and Protectors. So the covers aren't like, that. Also, I don't know why my lighting is making it look like there's all these like lines and crazy. Like, okay, there is. This is actually. But yeah, this Godzilla, Monsters and Protectors. I'm really enjoying it. This is part 4 of the Rise Up, which is kind of like the introduction into it. Like Rise Up Part 1 was the first issue, so it's still kind of set in the world. It's a lot of world building going on and situations setting up. I'm enjoying it. It's just so. I like Godzilla. I mean, I wish there was a way for me to display my stuff more so you guys could see the Godzilla collection and all the like graphic novels and everything else I have for Godzilla, all the Blu-rays, but the Blu-rays are over by the TV. Got a couple statues over by the TV. Behind me, I got the trades and the hardcovers. Like, it's all over the place. It's not like my Kamen Rider, my Ultraman stuff that's all in one spot. But I digress. Next up, I already mentioned Sir Kyle Higgins. If he was knighted, I would call him Sir Kyle Higgins. Radiant Black, number 6. This is, I don't know. It is August 14th, and this is the July issue. So it's been about 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks since I've picked up my comics. Luckily, they save them for me. They hold them in my little file because I don't always have time to go to the comic book. And here in San Diego, my comic book shop, which is close to me, is inside of a mall. They have another location which is like the same distance in the other direction from me, but that's not the one I frequent because I work over by that one. And so they have weird hours because of the mall and because of everything that's been happening for over a year and a half now. So sometimes I miss out on getting over there. I'm tired, but they hold them for me. They know I'm going to be there. They won't put me in the delinquent pile, which happened once by mistake, and it was a clerical issue, which was I did a whole podcast episode about that, and that was pretty funny. Last two, another one of my favorite writers, Ryan Parrott. We have Power Rangers number 9, and then we have Mighty Morphin 10. And okay, so this is setting up the Altarian War, which is the planet where Zordon's from. This is going to be an interesting arc that's being built up. I need to catch up on a few issues, but I'm really excited. So that's that's not too bad for comics, Let's see how many I paid though. 2, 4, 9, 3, 8. Picked up 8 comics, 3 for free, so 11 comics total. My Digimon card game booster box, and because I'm a VIP, I get a percentage off my purchases, which is always appreciated. Their VIP program is great. I get, I think, 10% off of collectibles, and I think I get like 20% off if I get any comics, new and back issues. So, yeah. Hold on a minute. I forgot something very important. I got some collectibles. Because obviously, I have to kit up my Toku stores and my nerdy stores. And I added 2 new SH figure arts to my Kamen Rider collection. Because God forbid I need more of those, right? So right up, I got Kamen Rider Raya. I'm bad at enunciating things from Ryuki. I love that. Like, so cool. Uh, Used obviously, but like I looked inside, the packaging is very damaged. Like the packaging is definitely not mint, and it's they open them to check to make sure before they resell them. But I looked inside, and a lot of the stuff still has the plastic on it that you would need to take off of it to display it. So this was never actually displayed out of box. This was an in-box display. Then I got Kamen Rider Wizard Water Dragon. Now I got a discount on this because if you look in the corner, there is no weapon, and they seal them. So whoever looked, they were like, "Oh yeah," but it was already taped up, and I was like, "I don't want to make you guys open it. Like I'll still get it." And they were like, "No, no, no. We'll get. If you want to get it, we're gonna give you a discount. We're gonna give you like 20% off because it's there's no weapon there." Lo and behold, I get home, I open it, the weapon's in the bottom. I feel bad. I generally do, but at the same time, we weren't gonna open it because if I didn't get it, I didn't want them to have to like cut the tape and reseal it. I didn't want to do that because I don't want to be that jerk. I just was like, hey, I even asked, I was like, do you want to like, because you can't really see, like, there's a clear on the spot on the top. My camera froze. So you see, there's a clear spot on the top, but you can't really see all the way down to the bottom, and that's where the sword was. And I love Wizard. That is the next driver I'm probably gonna add to my collection because I did add some more drivers, because I needed more DX drivers. But yeah, I almost completely forgot about the collectibles because I didn't want to do that as a separate video. So, yeah, that's it for the comics. How was your free comic book day? Did you get anything good? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe for more videos. I am, like I said, I've said this before. I'm trying to my this YouTube channel. These videos are supposed to be companion, like visual aids to the podcast because I can't. It's hard to talk about a lot of comic book stuff and not have stuff on the screen to see what I'm talking about. So these are kind of like, hey, here's the covers, here's the comics I'm talking about, and for you to see what they look like. So please subscribe to the channel. Go check out the podcast, the Nerd Name Mark podcast, available on all podcasting platforms. And yeah, I am gonna read all these. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. There's gonna be a lot more comic book stuff. I want to talk about Miles Morales, the Clone Saga. I want to talk about Radiant Black and where Power Rangers is going and Godzilla. I want to really go in and talk about more comic book stuff. So I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.